Battlefield walker here. I can't believe my good fortune. It's 80 degrees in the Commonwealth of Virginia and just no humidity. Beautiful day to do a little relic hunting. I rarely do one of those after work short hunts because I live an hour away from the places where I like to relic hunt. But today work took me to the Richmond area, and so I've got 2 or 3 hours to do a little hunt here. Maybe today we'll find some more Civil War relics. Well, this is the first signal of the day that I've decided to dig. It's just a whisper of a signal. Check out the difference in the soil. There's a clear line of demarcation between the topsoil and that famous Cold Harbor sand. Oh, there it is. I see rust. Just a nail. This is actually a pretty good sounding signal here. I'm thinking bullet. Okay, there it is. Looks like lead to me. What is that? Golly, that's a picket bullet. That's a picket bullet. Huh. Cool. Alright, didn't expect to find that here. Let's see what that might be. Definitely not a bullet. Is that it? No, it's a rock. Ought to be right on it, right there. Right there. Just screaming at me. Oh, dug it up. Come on now, that's crazy. What is it? I don't see it. Oh no. A piece of aluminum. Gave me such a good signal. Wow. Just a tiny little nail. Alright, so the landowner just trimmed the lower branches off of this tree. These branches, last time I were here on both of these trees, were hanging all the way to the ground. This is my first chance to hunt these little patches under these branches. Got a good signal right here. Alright, we're getting closer. There it is. Is that the back of a bullet? You see something white? That looks like a round ball to me. Found a lot of these on this property. That looks dropped. Well, what happened there? She gone. Oh no. A piece of aluminum siding. Oh. Oh, and it sounds so good. Nope, not too deep. I think it's a Civil War target. There it is. Alright, what is that? Hard to tell, but that looks like a Confederate Gardner to me. Without my glasses, I'd say that is a Confederate Gardner, and a pretty daggone nice one. This is another Civil War bullet. Now, already we found 2 Civil War bullets up under this tree that we couldn't get to before. Big old root right here, but I think maybe we can get it without fooling with that root. Oh yeah, still down there, and I'm pretty sure that's a bullet. I grew up just no more than a mile from here. There's your bullet. Yep, there it is. Alright, there's another round ball. Alright, this one is gonna be a dog, because it's right up against the roots of that tree. Well, amazingly, I haven't hit a root so far. That's reading like a bullet, but it doesn't sound like a bullet. Alright, there's the root. No, 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 no. Aluminum siding. Under where the branches hung low on this tree gave us 3 Civil War bullets. Let's see if that tree over there will do the same. Pretty daggone sure this is iron. We're gonna check it out. Yeah, piece of iron. Yep, half a horseshoe. It must be small because it's shallow. In the hand, it's a little piece of lead. I believe that tree number 2 is fixing to give us a Civil War bullet right there. We're not close enough to hear it yet, which means we got to go through some roots. Holy moly, that's a big one. Oh wow, that's too big to cut through. That's bigger than my wrist. Look at that thing. That's a big root. I feel it. Ground's kind of hard and it ain't giving it up easy. Been there 160 years, so it might not be a bullet. Just gave it up. What kind of bullet is it? It looks like a 3-ringer. Laying under that root for 160 years, boy. But there's bullet number 1 under number tree 2. I mean, bullet number 1 under number 2 tree. All right, I'm gonna call this a very iffy signal. All right, still down there somewhere. Big roots. Oh, there's roots under it too. All right, I can hear it. Pretty deep. It's in there and it's still got a ways to go. I don't know whether I can get to it without cutting that root or not. It's deep, man. Maybe something right there. There it is. The root, anyway. Now it's going to loosen up and come out. What's it going to be? All right, that ain't a bullet. What is it? Harmonica reed? That's what it is. A balled up harmonica reed. I've never found one that it looks like it was balled up on purpose. To think of some soldier out here playing a tune on that harmonica, wishing he was back home, wherever back home was. So I'm quickly losing daylight. This landowner, his land penetrates past the yard into the woods here. Down here with the copperheads, but it's just so thick back in these woods you can't see very well. Mangled modern bullet, maybe. And I don't know if you can even see this or not, but that's a 69 caliber mini ball. 69s are pretty unusual, but it's definitely a 69 caliber mini ball. 3 tight rings. I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. I know there were some unusual ones found, but that's a good find. I'm really pleased with that. All right, I feel it. And that looks like bottle top. But it's very close to where I found that 69. Okay, we're getting there. There it is, I feel it. Round ball. 69 caliber round ball. Just a foot or two from that 69 mini ball. Oh no, aluminum bottle cap. Well, like I said, I don't very often go on one of those after work hunts. Usually when I go, it's an all-day trip, but this one really turned out to be a good 3 or 4 hour relic hunt. Certainly the best find of the day for me was that Confederate 69 caliber Belgian bullet. An odd thing about this property, I haven't found a ton of relics. I mean, I've been able to keep busy digging all day, and so no complaints from me. I'm thrilled about that. But a higher percentage of scarce and rare items have come out of this little 2-acre plot. The Gardner bullet I found was a 54 caliber. That's kind of a rare bird. The Pickett bullet, 45 caliber Pickett bullet that I found, and of course that CS 69 caliber Belgian bullet. The trip before that found that piece of a brass curry comb, dated, Andrew Hotchkiss manufacture, ringtail sharps, and of course that Eagle D Dragoon button with a Baltimore Canfield Brothers backmark. In this little 2-acre plot, the percentage of scarce or rare finds is higher than normal. So I thought here at the end of the video, I'd share something with you, and you might find it interesting. Gaines Mill, of course, lent its name to the 1862 battle there. That mill was destroyed during the Civil War, and when the war was over, it was just ruins. In 1868, 3 years after the close of the war, the mill was rebuilt. It didn't look anything like the mill of the Civil War era. As you can see here, it's a 2-story wooden structure. But the story I want to tell you happened in the late 1970s. The mill was sold in the 60s, I believe, to a Mr. Bemis of Bemis Equipment. He sold it later, and it was sold again in the 70s or early 80s. And they decided to basically gut the mill and redo it into a more modern, livable home. I went to the person doing the work and I said, please don't throw away any of that original woodwork. Even though that's not a part of the wartime mill, it was 1868. The person in charge said, Walker, I'm sorry, but it's all been discarded. It's all been hauled away. The person saw how disappointed I was, and they said, you know, there is one door left that we thought we could save it, but upon closer inspection, the bottom rails and stiles of the door had rotted really bad, and it was beyond saving. He said, it's behind my garage and you can have it if you want. Well, I got over there as quickly as I could and got the door, thinking that I would rebuild the door and use it somewhere in my home. Got it home and realized that the bottom was just too far gone. So I did something some of you might think is a little bit crazy. I took those 5 raised panels and I attached it to one of the Luan interior doors in my home. It's a Franken door for sure, but I just wanted to save those panels out of Gaines Mill. Some of those rails and stiles were still in pretty good shape. I put them aside and I've saved them all these years. And I decided to build a display case for Civil War relics out of that. And it's right here. The only thing that's from Gaines Mill is the frame around the glass here. Everything else is just new construction. I'll probably order a little brass plate that says, you know, this wood came from the 1868 rebuild version of Gaines Mill. I have a certificate of authenticity here, notarized, just so that when I'm gone, my children will know what this is. My father grew up right across the road, and he remembers as a little boy trading at Gaines Mill. And he said that when you walked into the mill, if the miller was grinding when you went in, he said that whole 2-story structure just shook back and forth because of the massive millstones that were inside that building. They decided to leave the lower millstone in place because to try to get it out of there, they would have literally had to torn a huge hole in the wall. And I don't think they could have gotten it out that way. I think they would have had to use a crane, and they would have to taken the roof off of the place to get the millstone out. So what they did was they left the millstone in place and put a glass top on the millstone and made a dining room table out of it, which I think is just the coolest thing. If we get some weather that's not too horribly hot, I hope to go relic hunting again soon. If you like what you saw today, it would help me if you would subscribe to the channel and share it. If you know other people who are as crazy about digging Civil War relics
as I am. Until we are together again, I'm the Battlefield Walker. You be good and say your prayers.